And Hassan Mugambi now joins us with the latest at the City Mortuary with colleagues and family. Hassan, a lot of questions now, of course, about this story. First, the police say the body has been lying at the City Mortuary since 7th. She was reported as missing on the 6th. Police have been in pursuit. Family members have also been searching as they've been talking to father. I mean, first, why did it take that long for authorities to establish, or even the family in the search, that the body had been at City Mortuary?
Well, too many questions indeed, Hussein, like you put it there, right? But then again, the length at which the body is said to have lied here without being identified is another, question that remains unanswered. But I tried to seek some clarifications from the morgue attendants here, and they said the reason as to why they were not keen on showing the people who came, or the search teams that were dispatched here on different dates since the day that she was reported missing, is that because it was booked in as a private, meaning that this person had been identified. So the bodies that they kept seeing, viewing in their quest to identify whether she was indeed here were those that had been brought in by police. But then again, this one had not been brought in by police, so it was kept in a different place. But then again, we are here, different human rights organizations are also represented here still up to this hour at the City Mortuary compound. And right now I'm joined by one of them, who is the Amnesty International Executive Director, the Kenyan chapter, Halton Irungu. Karibu sana. Thank you very much for talking to us. Police have released what we could call what looks like a detailed report on what really transpired. Do you first of all buy that?
I think first of all we have to start by grieving with the family of Caroline Mwatha. The 7 agonizing days that it has taken to find her have ended today, and I think the search now is for what exactly happened. We have seen as Amnesty the DCI report. We are studying it, and I think the questions that it raises will be dealt with and will be conclusively resolved in an independent and impartial post-mortem that we hope will be done very quickly, perhaps as early as tomorrow morning. I think it is only at that point that for us the many questions that have been asked even this evening, and the ones that you are asking as well as journalists, will be conclusively dealt with. So until that moment we are reserving our judgment about what has happened. We are appreciative in terms of the thousands, tens of thousands of Kenyans who over the last 72 hours have called using the hashtag Find Caroline Mwatha, and sadly that moment has arrived. We have found her, but we did not find her alive and well. We found her dead and in a mortuary. I think the second point that as Amnesty we would like to make on this case is that to watch parents go through what they've gone through in the last 3 hours is really heart-wrenching. Her mother collapsed no less than 3 times. She's had nose bleeding. She's completely distraught. And I think no parent in this country would ever want this to happen to their child, whatever we find out tomorrow morning.
In your address to the media, you seemed to be very sure that the police or the establishment had something to do with this. Do you still hold that thought?
If you read our statement carefully, we released a statement. We did not move to speculation on what had happened. We simply made 3 points. One is that she had disappeared, and that she was not anywhere that her family knew where she was. Secondly, that her occupation as a human rights defender and as a monitor and supporter of families that have gone through extrajudicial killings, that put her at a certain level of risk. We have at no point suggested that she is the victim of a police killing, and I think the speculations have been many in the course of the last 3 days. I think for us the independent post-mortem will reveal exactly what happened to her, what is the cause of death, and when did it happen, and how is it possible that she could have been here for 7 days and nobody was able to track her down.
What is your call to the police and the people who will be conducting the autopsy?
Well, obviously this has to be an independent process. It is not done by the police. It is done by a government pathologist. It is important that it is done quickly. Secondly, that the family are present when this happens. And thirdly, we have already confirmation that there will be an independent pathologist, and that should not be hindered in any way, nor should it be delayed, because the country, I think, deserves closure on this matter. And it has been a very worrying case, I think, not just for human rights organizations and her family, but also, I think, for the rest of the country.
Thank you very much for joining us on Citizen Newsnight. Well, Hussein, that has been Hautoni Rungu, who is the Executive Director of the Kenyan chapter of Amnesty International, just saying that the independent inquest into it, calling on the independent inquest into it so that the exact cause of death is established. And this autopsy is going to be conducted tomorrow. And all the lobby groups who have been present here since the body was discovered at this particular mortuary will be converging here tomorrow at 9 a.m. so that they can be part of the process as well.